But Bashar, I was wondering if you could tell me the significance.
One moment, what happened to hello and good day?
We do that over and over. I was trying to spare you.
I always do it for the first time.
Hello, Bashar.
And good day to you.
Thank you.
Now, what would you like to discuss?
I would like to know about, I had a sense back in the 90s that I was looking for something. It's just
Back when you were in your 90s?
back in the 1990s.
Oh, yes, I know.
And then
I'm just
I
having
recently,
some fun with you.
and then I recently was shown something called the Vajra Ascension Channel in Berkeley, and I was wondering what the significance of that was to your purpose
The
here.
significance of it is that you have attracted yourself, based on the belief system that you hold to be true right now, to a permission slip that is harmoniously and vibrationally aligned with that belief system that you believe will allow you to give yourself more permission to be more of who you are.
But I discovered it, and it's what led me to all of these changes in my belief structures. I wasn't thinking
One permission slip may lead to another. You are a dynamically changing being. You will always attract yourself to another permission slip, a different permission slip, as is most representative at that moment of attraction to whatever changes in your belief system have happened to create you to be a different being at that moment, who is now attracted to a different permission slip.
And how many ascension channels are there in the United States?
Quite a few.
So this is regional for us.
It is international in its own way. But again, it is simply one kind of permission slip that is representative of a slice of the collective consensus agreement reality. And so many different people may find that it is advantageous for them to align with it for now. But they will move on to other things too.
So is the Ascension Channel specifically only for, like you said, only for some people?
Yes.
And is this separate from people who might be aligning with certain extraterrestrial craft? Is it
It can be similar, but it can be different. You have to take it on a case-by-case basis as to what the vibrational path is that each individual may require to discover what it is they have chosen to explore in this life.
Well, is everybody who's using the Ascension Channel, are they still associated with the spacecraft then?
No.
Then it's a dimensional shift channel?
All things are dimensional shifts. You're shifting through different parallel dimensional realities billions of times a second. It's about becoming aware that you're shifting billions of times a second and then having conscious awareness of shifting in the direction that is most representative of the frequency that you prefer, so that you can start experiencing a succession of different parallel versions of Earth that are more and more reflective and representative of the version of Earth that you prefer. You never change the world you're on. You shift to another world that's already more representative of the change you've made within yourself.
So is it a portal?
I beg your pardon?
Is the Vajra Ascension Channel a portal?
It can be used as a type of portal, as many permission slips can also be used.
And it doesn't have to be associated with extraterrestrial craft?
No, it does not.
And people who don't choose to use that may use extraterrestrial craft as an alternative path.
They may use that. They may use many different kinds of things as alternatives. It doesn't take away the fact that you're always shifting. That's a natural thing. You can't stop. You can't help it. That's just a description of the mechanism, of how you experience the concept of space and time and change and movement. That's what creates the side effect you call time and change, is that your consciousness, like a projector light through a strip of film going through different frames and projecting the illusion of change on a movie screen, your consciousness is shifting through different frames of parallel realities billions of times per second, actually creating you to be a different person billions of times per second, and whatever you deem to be most relevant for you will be the vibration you will attract yourself to, the symbols that you will use, the permission slips that will be workable for you at that moment, and you will take yourself through a succession of different parallel realities that are more and more reflective every single moment of whatever changes and whatever direction the changes have taken within you. And it can be represented by any symbol that works for you. Does that make sense?
It does.
Does this help?
Yes. Can I ask a question about the Enneagram?
About
the Enneagram.
the Enneagram.
Enneagram.
Yes.
So there's I feel karmically connected and seem to have memory back to the time of the Anunnaki.
Yes.
And
well, all of you have Anunnaki genetics, so that's not surprising.
Yeah. And the Anunnaki are kind of at the center bottom position.
Yes.
And then I've been studying with Drinvalo Melchizedek, and
All
he's
right.
saying that our future parents are the Syrians, but on this Enneagram, there's the Syrians on the left, and
Yes.
then there's the Arcturians
Yes.
and the Pleiadians. So different people are taking different paths.
Yes, of course. If there was only one path, there would only be one person. Look around.
So how many, but you only have 3, but there could be infinite paths. So
Yes, of course, but what we were describing were general, overriding collective consciousness vibrations. That's like saying we described 3 different schools to you, but how many students go to those schools and are taking different kinds of courses? You understand?
yeah.
The Enneagram is not meant to differentiate the individual pathways. It's meant to simply give an overview of the general energies that you are incorporating within the growth and the expansion of your consciousness that are already contained within your genetic makeup.
So should I focus on the Syrians since he mentioned that?
Should you? I don't
Well-
know. You tell me.
Well,
What excites you the most?
it's hard to get information on the Arcturians.
The idea of the Arcturus vibration is simply that which aligns you into remembering more of who you are. The Arcturians, as you call them, don't exist as a race in the way you think of it. They're a non-physical collective consciousness that is giving off aid and assistance by radiating a specific frequency that, if you choose to align with it, will actually give you a better capacity to see more clearly who it is you truly are on a larger level.
So as long as I just stay with the love that's rising, I'll gravitate to the one that resonates the most with
Yes.
me.
Always, 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 as we say, the key is to use excitement as the information being delivered to you by the higher mind that describes the next step on your path. Excitement is communication from the higher mind telling you this is the next thing to take action on. That's why you feel that passion, that excitement. That's an actual communication translated by your body from the higher mind, that this is the next direction to go in. It's guiding you like a searchlight. You feel that light in the form, in the vibration you call excitement, passion, creativity, love, joy. Yes?
Yes, but
yes?
I feel that the Vajra Ascension channel, you said, well, it's something more or less that I've created that I resonate with, but
Yes.
you could say that I created you as well. I mean,
Of
I
course.
feel like it's as real as you are.
All right. Remember that every single belief system carries with it in its structure the idea of perpetuating and reinforcing itself to make any other belief seem to be less likely. Otherwise, if a belief didn't do that, you wouldn't be able to focus on the experience that that belief has to offer. So of course, other things are not going to seem as real as the belief you're focused on, but as soon as you change your belief, then the new belief will seem real and the other ones will no longer seem real. So they'll all be real at some point, and they're all just as unreal at the same time. Remember, there are only really 5 facts in existence, if you want to call them this. Only 5 descriptions of the actual structure of existence, what we call the 5 laws. You exist. There is nothing you can do to change that. Nothing. Go ahead, try. I'm waiting. You exist. Everything is here and now. The one is the all are the one. What you put out is what you get back. Every single thing changes except the laws. Everything else is a combination in some way, shape, or form of those 5 facts. Every experience you have is your ball game, your way of interpreting, rearranging, and experiencing those 5 facts. And that's it.
Do you happen to have a copy of the laws?
I just told them to you.
Oh, that's the laws.
That is the 5 laws. You exist. You see, when we say law, we mean with a capital L, meaning there is absolutely nothing you can do to undo that law. Such things that you call, the speed of light and so on and so forth, the laws of physics and so on and so forth. Well, yes, in your local area they may seem like laws, but they're just local conditions. They're not true everywhere, in every dimension, on every level of reality. But the 5 laws are true everywhere, for everyone, every when, every how. Everything. You exist. You can't do anything to change that. Everything is here and now. You can't do anything to change that. The one is the all are the one. You can't do anything to change that. What you put out is what you get back. You can't do anything to change that. Everything changes and you can't do anything to change that. And that's it. Those are the 5 laws. Those are the 5 facts. Those are the 5 descriptions of the structure of existence itself. Everything else, every other experience, anywhere, everywhere, anywhere, any when, is based on those 5 facts and is an interpretation, a rearrangement, an interposition, a perspective shift of those 5 facts. And that's it. So everything is your projection. Everything is your creation. Everything is your reflection based on those 5 laws.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think so. Good day, Bashar.
And you good day.
So good to connect to you in this way. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Yeah. So I want to discuss one of our darker expressions, one of our demons.
How exciting.
Yes. And I want to talk a little bit about anger, which can give way to
Yes.
aggression and violence that we have in our culture.
Yes. Although, what we might call natural anger only lasts about 15 seconds. Beyond that, it's self-judgment. That's the kind of anger you're actually talking about that causes the difficulties.
Right.
But let's also use a new term here. Because the idea of what we're referring to as natural anger is really just resonance alignment. When you experience something or are exposed to something that you really are vibrationally incompatible with, that you do not resonate to, you will feel that resonant reflection.
Yes.
And you will say, I am aligned with this or I am not. And in that moment, that's all you need to know. And that lasts about 15 seconds. Anything beyond that, you usually then get into all sorts of belief systems and value judgments and all sorts of other things, which is something else completely different. But go on to say what you're going to say, and then I will tell you something also that is very powerful with respect to this so-called emotion of anger or resonance alignment.
Yeah, I think what I want to know is there something that we can learn on our kind of transition into a more evolved way of being? You know, you're farther along on that path, and I guess I want to know if your culture experiences anger, if you guys experience or express violence or aggression, and if you do, or even if you don't, how did you move through that, and what could we learn from that so that in this transition we can have a more, I don't know, evolved or constructive way of dealing with that kind of resonance, that energy that we tend to express violently and destructively, at least at this time.
I am angry that you asked.
All right, so you do feel it.
No, I'm kidding. No,
well, I'm curious,
do not
actually.
experience the idea that you call anger in the way that you mean it. No. We experience resonant alignment, yes. However, let us introduce a new idea first and foremost before we go on. There is a phrase that exists in your storytelling structure that is actually representative of an emotion, even though most of you don't think of it as such. The idea of this resonance alignment, when you see something that is vibrationally incompatible, when there is some kind of resonance there, that you say, I wish to do something about this. It's called a call to action. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's not a judgment, it's not a value judgment, but it's a recognition that something must be acted on in order to express the idea of the alignment that you feel in contrast or comparison to the misalignment you perceive. And that emotion, that natural resonant realignment or comparison, rather than actually being referred to now as natural anger that lasts 15 seconds, is actually capable of being described as what might be called a new emotional label, a new emotional definition. And that new emotion is a call to action. Do you understand?
Yeah, I like that. I feel that.
All right. Now, here's something else that's a very, very, very powerful tool. You have a word for it, but many of you don't actually understand what it is. Forgiveness. You follow me? Mm-hmm. What is forgiveness? I'll tell you. Thank you. This is what forgiveness as a state of being is actually vibrationally, mechanically doing. When you go into a state of forgiveness, you are forgiving yourself, you are forgiving others. Yes?
Yes.
It actually is a vibration that has the ability to actually neutralize the negative consequences of a negative choice someone may have made. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. You know that everything you choose to do will have in physical reality some form of consequence, some form of outcome. Even in what you call the afterlife, you've heard the term the life review.
Yes.
You will look back at your life and you will experience all of the consequences of the choices you made from the point of view of anyone who was ever in any way, shape, or form choosing to be affected by anything that you did, as if you were them. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others can actually neutralize the experience of a consequence generated through a negative act. So that even in physical life and even in the life review, if that gets canceled out by forgiveness, the person will not have to experience the consequence of a choice they made that might have had a negative consequence. This is the actual interpretation and meaning when people in religious contexts say that a being like Jesus took away your sins. It means when that being said, "Father, forgive them, they know not what they do," he was offering you the vibrational teaching that forgiveness can actually neutralize the consequence of a negative choice so that you wouldn't have to experience what it was the people of the time were doing to him as a negative act. He forgave you all for all time. Do you understand?
Yes.
That has the profound effect of allowing you to be free to forgive yourselves and others and come back into alignment. This is where we began our understanding and practice of neutrality for any kind of consequence of a choice that might have been negative in our ancient past. That, combined with the understanding and awakening into the idea that is most often referred to as lucidity. You know that you can have what you call lucid dreams, where you, in a sense, kind of wake up in the dream and know that you're dreaming, yes?
Yes.
That lucidity can actually be compounded on, magnified, built upon. When you are aware, when you're dreaming in the dream state, that you're dreaming and become lucid in the dream, you can start to control the dream. You can decide what happens in the dream. You can rearrange it. You can make things happen that otherwise might simply have run on automatic. But further than that, in the lucid state, in the dream state, you can actually go to the barrier between the physical and the non-physical experience that we refer to as the template level or blueprint level reality, where all the things that you experience in physical reality are actually determined by you ahead of time in the energetic blueprint level, and then they manifest in physical reality in time. You understand?
Yes.
But when you're lucid in the dream state, you can go to the blueprint and you can change the blueprint and actually change what you experience in your physical reality when you wake up. And that's what we discovered, is that the more we became lucid in the dream state and were able to change the actual template level, the more we became lucid in the physical dream.
Yes.
And thus, very quickly in our society, there was no difference anymore, or at least not anywhere near as much difference between the idea of the physical reality and the dream reality. And that's why now we no longer sleep, we no longer eat, we are always awake in the dream and always dreaming. The paradox is that we realize that when you go to sleep and have dreams at night, you're actually waking up. And when you wake up in the morning in physical reality, you're actually going to sleep. When you start realizing that you never actually leave, for lack of a better term, the spirit reality, you never leave heaven, if you want a metaphor, you never, ever, ever leave that state. That's your natural state. You are all only dreaming that you've left. But you're still there, having this dream there. You understand?
I do.
You've all gone to sleep in heaven and are dreaming you're in hell.
Yes. Can I ask about that hell for a moment?
Now, again, I'm being a little bit facetious because obviously life on earth can be heaven on earth. The key is that you are awakening to the fact that you can allow it to be so by letting go of the fears that generate the physical dream to seem so nightmarish. You're the ones creating the nightmares. You're the ones creating physical reality to be difficult, to be the hell on earth because of the negative definitions that you're buying into as true. As soon as you start buying into a different truth, it doesn't invalidate the truth that was there before, but it now allows you to experience a preference of a different truth that is more in alignment with your natural state and removes you from the illusion that you are out of control or that reality is happening to you instead of the truth, which is it's happening through you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is this helping?
Very much. Can I ask a follow-up on that?
Absolutely.
So speaking of dreams, and this, like even this negative vibration of anger or hurt or pain.
Self-judgment. Self-loathing. Self-denial. Self-diminishment. Self-depreciation. I'm not worthy. Mea culpa.
Yes. Now, I often find in my dreams that tend to be very intense. Everything feels like the volume has been turned up.
Yes.
So often my dream experience is more intense than this one. Like my emotional body.
That's because that actually is more real.
Yeah. Well, yes. And I guess I'm confused or I don't quite understand why I often wake up in dreams that are so, like, if I'm angry in a dream, I'm in a rage. If I'm sad, I'm depressed and the world's ending.
All right, well, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
Would you rather experience that in physical reality?
No, I mean, I'd rather have it the way I have it.
Exactly. And that's why.
But I don't know.
You're working all these things out on a level where you know it's safer to do so.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
And that's okay. That means by the time you wake up,
it's done.
It's done. You've cleared it. You've worked on it. You've come to some conclusion. You've redefined and reinvented yourself as a new person.
But am I clearing it?
And it's the new person that's waking up.
But is that what's happening? Am I clearing it or am I just perpetuating it? Because it happens a lot.
What do you think?
I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking.
What would you prefer that it be doing?
Well, I'd prefer that I be working through it because I want to be resonating at a higher
vibration. Then what
vibration.
beliefs are you holding on to that would make you think otherwise is the question to look into.
Right.
Yes?
Yes.
So when you look into that and find out if you're holding on to any definitions that make it seem as if it's just perpetuating instead of clearing, then as soon as you clear those, you'll know you're clearing.
Got it. I like that.
You see the paradox in
I
this?
do.
The lovely, lovely paradox? That's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. One more brief question.
Yeah.
So as a child, I was often afraid of the dark. And
Yes.
even as an adult, I sometimes experience this, and it's often an experience, and I don't know if I'm making it all up, but it feels like another presence or something else is there.
There are many other presences that will come in contact with many of you from time to time, and if you've been raised to think of things in a certain way, you may experience a little bit of fear in those encounters because you recognize that you're shifting to another reality that your physical mind isn't really prepared to interpret. And therefore it starts to feel out of control and it starts to generate the idea of survival vibrations, but there's really nothing to fear.
Right. I guess how, is there a way that I can, I'm
there
actually
are many ways.
Excited about it because it feels like I'm about to be aware of something that's...
Understand that you are playing your part. Understand and remember that you made an agreement to play a part. Ask for more clarity so that you can play your part more clearly and allow yourself to participate in a more conscious way, and the fears will diminish.
Thank you.
Yes?
Yes, thank you, Bashar.
Does that help?
It does.
Pleasant dream.
Yeah, thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And you good day.
Well, thank you. I have 3 questions.
Oh, all right. We don't know if we have 3 answers, but please proceed.
I suspect you have more than 3 answers.
Perhaps. We never know until we need them.
Okay. The first question relates to the interface between the individual versus the collective reality.
Yes.
And so specifically, you've spoken in previous transmissions about spaceships, landing, etc., disclosure, things like that.
Yes.
And what I'll call the collective reality in certain time frames for things to happen. And I guess my question is, what I don't understand, if as I'm choosing alternate realities individually, what's the interface between those two? Because if I'm ready to see individuals from other planets, etc., what difference does it make when the majority of people on this planet will see that?
The difference that you're talking about is the idea of remembering that as you change your energy, you're actually shifting to another parallel reality that is more in keeping with the vibrational change you've made within yourself. Therefore, as a new individual, you're acting with a new collective that may be more representative and more ready of the idea you're talking about experiencing.
Okay, so the time frames that you've given for the collective for experiences like that's just a general time frame?
Is a general overall probability time frame for how we perceive the idea of the shifting that's going on within all the individuals will be more in alignment with a collective reality on that vibratory level.
And there will be individual differences within that.
Of course. But nevertheless, we are talking in general probabilities here.
Okay.
Does that help?
That helps.
All
Thank
right.
you. Second question.
Yes.
I'm curious about what you would say about human sexuality.
Yes.
And also, some people know, some people don't know, dolphins are very sexual.
Yes, many animals are, including humans.
Correct. So I'm wondering what you would like to say on that topic.
What, in 25 words or less?
Exactly.
Is that not a topic that you yourselves have devoted books and books and books to? Sexuality obviously serves a function. It can serve many different kinds of functions. But we will say this most of all. When done within integrity, when done from a place of unconditional love, when done from a vibration of your true self, it can be a physiological act of bonding and a physiological act of connection, not only to each other in many ways, but to many levels of your own consciousness and to source itself. But of course, it depends on how it's done. It depends on with what intent you do it. Yes?
Yes.
Does that help? Or is there some other direction you wish to proceed?
No, I think that's
all right.
That's quite sufficient for that.
All right. Well, we weren't sure if you were asking us on a date. And third?
You'd have to speak to my girlfriend about that.
All right.
Okay, the third one is about what many people here would call starseeds, individuals that have previous existences on other planets.
Well, simultaneous existences on other planets,
correct,
so to speak.
Yes.
Simultaneous connections to existences on other planets going on right now, even though some of them may be called the past or the future from your linear perspective.
So the question, I guess, is how common is that? And very common. Okay,
Yes.
so with most...
All of you, every single one of you, have connections to other realities, other dimensions that you are downloading information and energy from. The concept of the starseed really isn't so much a description of the specific physical nature of these connections or the mechanical arrangement of these connections, because you all have it. The idea of the starseed is the degree of awareness you have of those connections as they exist. Does that make sense?
Yes. And what's the significance of being more aware of that?
It's more reflective of the idea of a holistic point of view, that you are seeing more of yourself simultaneously in much similar fashion to what we described in the chess analogy of seeing many moves ahead simultaneously, seeing many parallel realities all at once, which gives you a greater sense of what you as a being actually are. And thus then you can draw consciously upon more of those connections and apply those connections and the information you download from them more effectively in your physical reality here, even as many of those connections are drawing upon you and other connections to download information that serves them in their incarnational experiences.
Excellent.
Yes?
That's helpful. May I ask one other thing?
That was a question.
So we're up to 4. Can I go for 5?
That was another question. Would you like to try for 6? Just ask the question.
Scanning my energy, is there anything that you would like to say to me or that you would find helpful, that I would find helpful personally?
Are you acting on your highest excitement to the best of your ability every moment that you possibly can with no assumptions or insistence or expectation to the outcome?
Mostly.
That means no. Therefore, I would ask you to survey and investigate those areas of your life where you are holding back. For it is those areas you need to look at, and in discovering what it is that you are choosing to hold yourself back with, you will discover ways of releasing those things and becoming even fuller.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I was going to ask you a question about what I was not seeing, what I was not accepting, or what I haven't learned.
But I just answered it, didn't I?
Yes.
How synchronous of us.
So now that leaves me without a question. I just wanted to check in and make
You
sure.
can make a statement. I will tell you a secret we have told to a few other people, and that is sometimes when you choose to make a statement instead of asking a question, you actually open up more doors that we can access more information through.
Then I would love to make a statement.
Then make a statement.
And my statement is that I've discovered that the reason my physical health is not all it can be is because I've been stubborn and not doing my work with the full joy, with no expectation of outcome.
And why have you chosen to do that up to this point? What have you been afraid of, in other words?
Exposure.
Exposure! You mean you're going to be naked?
Well, not physically, but yes.
And what is wrong with allowing people to know who you are?
They come after you.
They do?
They do.
And what does that have to do with what you experience in your life?
Wow.
You want help with that answer?
Yes, sir.
Nothing. It has nothing to do with anything if you choose to see it that way. You understand?
I do, yes.
There will always, for a time, on your world, in the way you experience it, there will always, for a time, be those who will not like what you have to say, who will not allow you to be you. You know why? Because when you are being you as fully as you can, you are a constant reminder to those who are not being themselves that they are not being themselves, and they don't like being reminded of that.
I got it.
You understand?
I do, yes.
But that is the greatest service you can actually provide them, because at least by example, you're giving them an opportunity to see through you that they could choose to be more fully themselves, even if they don't choose to.
Well,
By not being yourself, you are removing that opportunity from them. You are only reinforcing their choice to be afraid to be themselves. So at first, they may rebel against seeing an example, because by coming from a negative state, they only see the idea in a negative way. In other words, they're saying, you're rubbing my nose in what it is I am too afraid to do, and I resent you for that. Good impression, yes? And so the idea is that they're coming from a negative state to begin with, and so that's the only way they can see it. But the more you are yourself, the more unconditionally compassionate and loving you will be. And maybe, just maybe, eventually, they will get tired of being such curmudgeons and will actually say, you know, she has something going for her. It's working for her. Maybe it will work for me. And then you have given them an opportunity to make a different choice. But if you withhold that, you're only reinforcing the same fear and saying, it's all right to stay there. I'm there too. Misery loves company.
Well, I'm going to say wow, because now I feel like a really big hypocrite.
No.
Well, no, one of the things I teach all the time to
Yes.
all of the people I work with is when you show up for yourself,
Yes.
you give others the opportunity to show up for themselves.
Absolutely.
And you said the same thing, only better. And
Just
it's
different.
Okay, well, different. And
Every
so-
single one of you is a gift. Do not deprive others of the gift of your being. You know the story, many of you perhaps, of the idea of the people sitting around a pot with different pictures on it. Do you know that story?
I do not.
A tribe is sitting around a large cooking pot, and on the cooking pot are painted many different kinds of images of their history. And as they sit around and sharing the meal, each one of them says what it is they are seeing the particular image of on their side of the pot. But if the person on the other side of the pot doesn't share their image, you don't have the whole history. You don't have the complete picture. You're leaving something out and depriving others of understanding their heritage.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
So, say what's on your side of the pot, so everyone can share the meal and enjoy the feast. Yes?
Yes.
Sound like fun?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great to be in your energy again, Bashar.
Well, thank you.
Gonna
Good
choose
day to you.
Thank you. I'm going to choose to speak technical today.
Technical. All right.
So,
Talk tech.
Continuing from our previous conversation earlier this year, I'm left with questions about gravity.
Yes.
And about the nested capacitor design.
Yes.
So we spoke about the prime radiant.
Yes.
And its relationship to the.
You've just lost half the audience.
Do you wish to explain then?
Prime radiant, very briefly, is simply the idea that if you imagine, and this is just an analogy, imagine a single particle in all of existence. If you wish, imagine one tiny little subatomic particle in a big black void. Nothing else exists. This one tiny particle, because it's the only thing, has no rules. It can go as fast as it wants. If it travels thus then at infinite speed throughout this black void, in whatever pattern it wishes, it will appear to be many particles all at once, because it's going so fast, it can appear next to itself over and over and over again at the same time. This is how reality is structured, and that's why you literally are made of the same thing that everyone and everything else is. This is the prime radiant idea from our civilization. Please continue.
Correct. So you spoke about structure.
Yes.
And in our conversation, we related the prime radiant to gravity.
In a sense, yes, there is an aspect of that, obviously, that creates what you experience as gravity, yes.
Okay, so in the idea of the fabric of space and time,
Yes.
gravity appears to be an energy of high vibrational quality.
Yes.
Why? Because it bends it,
Well, so to speak, yes.
at least to our modern day scientists. And it's still very misunderstood.
Oh, yes.
Or highly non-understood.
Yes.
So could you expand on a little more on the nature of gravity, how to create it, handle
Yes.
it, harness it, and manipulate it?
Turn around and look at the holotope. Do you see the holotope?
Yes.
Do you see the geometric pattern?
The fractal, yes.
Do you see where the lines cross each other and where they don't?
Yes.
The idea is that where the lines cross each other the most is what you call the crystallization of energy down into matter. The idea is that the relationship of those nodal points is gravity. Do you understand this analogy?
Yes.
Then there you go. Allow yourself to understand how the nodal points are reflective of the matrix in which the material exists, and you will understand how to stretch and bend those nodal points according to certain geometric patterns, such as Fibonacci spirals. So when you understand the idea of Fibonacci spirals and how they overlap and create overlapping nodal points and cross each other again and again and again in certain ways and expand in certain ways, you will understand everything you need to know about the ideas of gravity, about the ideas of dark matter, about the ideas of dark energy, and why what you call your physical universe seems to be accelerating instead of slowing down. One example. If you understand the idea of taking a Fibonacci spiral in one direction and a Fibonacci spiral in the opposite direction, you will understand that the spirals where they cross and cross again and cross again and cross again will be constantly farther and farther and farther and farther and farther apart. Yes?
Correct.
Well, if you understand that that's representative of the expansion of your universe, you will understand that that's why it's accelerating, because the idea of the spiral is it has to cover more distance to reach the next nodal point. By being that particular kind of curve, it does so. And in your space-time reality, that translates out to the idea of greater distance over the same time equals acceleration. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Then there you go. Learn the vibrational state of those Fibonacci spiral nodal points, and you will understand the relationship of gravity to matter, and you will understand the idea of how to manipulate the vibrations in order to manipulate gravity's relationship to matter. That's one way to approach it. There are several ways, but that's the way that we are talking about right here in terms of the idea of geometric structure.
Okay. You spoke about the vibrational nature of matter just now. And that actually leads to my second question.
Oh, all right.
So when we spoke, you mentioned that in order for an object to go from location A to location B,
yes,
all we would need to do would be to
change the locational variable of the object itself.
Which is vibration.
Location, it is a frequency within an energy equation, a signature vibration. Because location is not somewhere that an object exists in. Location is one of the properties of the object. And the object here and the object here are actually two different objects, because of the change and difference in the locational variable within the overall energy equation of that so-called object.
So in the present day, how can we measure that vibrational frequency?
Get a very, very, very flat table that's at least 6 to 10 feet long. Very flat. Take a very thin copper ball, about 3 inches, 4 inches in diameter, hollow, very thin, as perfectly round as you can make it. Put it at one end of the table. Strike it and get it to vibrate, or vibrate it through some other means. Measure those vibrations as precisely as you can. Then move the ball to the other end of the table and repeat that measurement. Find the difference in those two measurements. If your instruments are sensitive enough, you will ultimately discover the difference in those two frequencies. And when you do, then you can put the ball back in position A, and then either acoustically or electromagnetically or any way you wish, bombard it, overwhelm it, in a sense, with the vibrational frequency that is specific to the other end of the table when the object was there, and you will see that the object will at least, if not disappear from here and wind up over there instantaneously, it will at least roll across the table to its new position and stop. And you will have begun to learn to chart the idea of that vibrational matrix map, which is what we use, and impose it over the idea of the physical reality, so that we understand, like a C chart, what the vibrational coordinates are for all the locations we wish to go to. Thus, then we isolate our ship in an electromagnetic gravitational bubble, unlock it from any particular reality, impose upon it the vibrational locational equation of where we wish to go, and thus then when we remove the bubble, pop, we disappear from there, and pop, we appear at our destination. Ultimately, you can do it that way, but begin with something like this experiment and allow your imagination to be your guide to alter it in whatever way, shape, or form you so desire. But as soon as your instruments are sensitive enough to tell the difference in the vibration of an object in two different locations, you'll be on your way to charting the vibrational map of the universe.
Perfect.
All right?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
do exist. 皆さんが知っているようにこの時間、自分で作っている時間ですけど、今日のご機嫌はいかがでしょう。
Before we begin this interaction, this day of your time, allow me to remind you of a few things.
今日皆さんと話を始める前にいくつかのことを思い出してほしいと思います。
There will be in any of these interactions new energy that will be realized by many of you.
今日こういう交流をしているときにたくさんの新しいエネルギーがここにいる何人かの人たちに感じられると思います。
And you may find yourself making many recognitions and realizations and releasing.
そういうものを見て新しい、そういうものを感じて新しい認識、新しい気づき、そういうものがあると思います。
All of these things will occur at a natural and comfortable pace if you allow them to.
自分がそれを許してあげれば、自分に一番心地の良いペースでそれを自然に起こすことができます。
Any energy that you begin to feel, allow yourself first of all to remember you can handle it.
どんなエネルギーでも自分で感じ始めたとき、自分で思い出してください。自分にはこれに対処するだけの力があるんだということ。
You may feel many different things, but understand the universe never gives you more than you can handle.
必ず覚えておいてほしいのは、宇宙というものはあなたが対処できないものを与えることはないということです。
Never.
決してないんです。
Never.
決してないんです。
Never.
決してないんです。
And so therefore, if you feel that there is energy that is too strong for you,
ですから自分に対して強すぎるエネルギーが来てるなと感じたとき、
that feeling will usually be the product of your definition of the energy, not the universe's definition of the energy.
そういう時には自分で使っている定義づけを使っているんです。宇宙の定義づけは自分に来てるんでは、降りかかっているのではないんです。
So it is our suggestion that you allow yourself to breathe the energy through your body.
ですから私たちが進めることは、そのエネルギーを呼吸とともに体の中で流してあげてください。
In a relaxed and open manner, trusting in the positive nature of what you are experiencing.
リラックスして、そして自分が体験していることを肯定的に捉えることを決めて呼吸をしてください。
It is all right to feel a release. It is all right to feel great change going on within you.
自分の中でそういう解放感とか、自分の中のいろんな変化を感じるのは全くいいんです。
But simply remember that it is all the product of your choice to unfold as a positive and loving and serving individual.
ただ覚えておいてください。自分が愛する、そしてみんなに奉仕する、そういうものの産物として今そういうエネルギーを感じることを自分が選択しているということです。
Therefore, do not fear, but be glad and feel gratitude towards the universe.
ですから恐れることなく宇宙に感謝を持ってそれを感じてあげてください。
And be glad that you are willing to discover more and more of who and what you are.
そして自分が誰であるか、自分はどんな存在であるかということを、こういうものを通しながら学んでいくということを選んでいることに感謝をしてください。
Remember that each and every individual is a unique construction.
一人一人というのは非常にユニークな存在なんです。構造を持っているんです。
And that the personality that you are is not really fundamentally who or what you are.
皆さんの持っている性格、個性というのが基本的にあなたは誰であるかということを表すのではありません。
But only a temporary manifestation reflecting whatever particular idea you are working through at this particular moment.
その瞬間にあなたが何を今学ぼうとしているか、一番自分の持っているそういう強いものが性格として出ています。
Therefore, as you change the idea of yourself, you change the person that you are literally.
ですから自分の中に持っている考え、観念を変えると、自分という人間が全く変わります。文字通り変わるんです。
And therefore, by the time this interaction is over with today, you will not be the same people you were when you walked in. Literally.
ですから今日皆さんがここに入ってきた時と、それから今日出ていく時、文字通り全く違う人間になっています。
No matter how you think you still look in the mirror, you're not going to be the same people because outside looks is simply an illusion.
鏡の中でどういうふうに見えていても、皆さんは全く違う人間になっています。この外観というのは全く幻想なんです。
If you do change yourself sufficiently, you can begin to change your outside looks.
自分の中を十分に変化し始めたとき、外も変わってきます。
That may simply happen automatically for some of you over a period of time.
人によってはそれが自然に自動的にある期間をかけて起こります。
But your civilization is still very focused in space and time, and therefore those changes take a period of time to occur.
皆さんのこの社会というのはまだ時間と空間に非常に固着しています。執着しています。ですから実際に変化が体のレベルで起きるのには時間がかかったりします。
Maintaining a similar outward appearance from moment to moment is simply your way of establishing continuity, so you can recognize each other.
皆さんが自分の顔や何かこの外側をずっと毎春同じように見ていくのは自分の中で継続性を連続性をつけておきたいからなんです。
When your civilization no longer looks at the exterior for recognition, but the interior for recognition, it will not matter what the exterior looks like.
外側がどうであるかより内側の認識に目を向け始めると、もっと向け始めると外が毎春変わっても気にならなくなります。
And no matter how drastically you change, each and every one of you as an individual will always maintain your signature vibration.
そして毎春自分がどのぐらい外が変わったとしても、劇的に変わったとしても、自分のシグネチャーバイブレーション、自分の固有周波数というものは常に保つことができます。
It is by the signature vibration that your soul is recognized no matter what changes occur in the personality.
性格の部分でどれだけ変化をしても、自分の固有周波数が魂というものを表現しています。
To also remember that even though your exterior physical body may not drastically change, that does not mean that drastic changes cannot occur in your persona.
それと同時に外側は全く変わってないとしても、自分の中が変わって、そして自分の性格が変わっているということは大いにあり得ます。
If you desire to be different than you are, and you act in a different way, you will be a different person, and you will have a different life.
自分が変わることを望み、どういうふうに変わったか、そのように行動しているとき、自分の人生が実際に変わります。
We thank you for expressing the boldness and the conviction to be willing to change in beautiful ways.
非常に美しい方法で自分が変わることを信念を持ってやってくれてどうもありがとう。
So, you want to know about creative relationships, eh?
それでは皆さん、クリエイティブリレーションシップ、創造的な人間関係を知りたいんですね。
Well, you are in for a workout today.
皆さん、運動の準備はできてますか？ Bashar, we have a question
Yes.
beforehand.
But let us lay down the foundation that we will still tie in the question to the idea of relationships by beginning with your relationship to the entire earth and the changes that are going on therein.
質問に入る前に、先ほど質問があると言いましたけど、その前にどうせ質問の方にもつながっていく、まずその前段階をお話したいと思います。今地球全体で起こっている人間関係、その他に関連することです。
Therefore, the question may now be asked.
それではちょっと話が違いますけど、質問を今してもらいましょう。Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to ask you a question.
We thank you for sharing what is in your heart.
あなたのハートの中にあるものをみんなと分かち合ってくれてどうもありがとう。I'm an astrologer.
All right.
はい。From the charts of Japanese people, 300 to 500 people's charts, there was a significant change.
Yes.
どんなもんでしょう？I observed that there'll be a big change from 89年から90年 from 89 to 90 on a vast level.
Yes.
はい。 I'd like to ask you for a couple of suggestions for that.
All right, suggestions in what way?
どういう形でサジェッションすればよろしいでしょうか。
もしそういうような大変な社会変動とか天変地異な異変が起きる場合に、社会やみんなのために何かしたいと思う人はどのような行動をすればいいかというのが一つ。
One thing is, if that kind of vast social change takes place, or vast, big crisis occurs, for people, those of people who wants to serve the society, what can they do?
First of all, you can understand that all transformation can be viewed in either a positive or a negative way.
最初に分かってほしいのは、理解していただきたいのは、すべての変化というもの、変革というものは、肯定的にも否定的にも見ることができるということです。
Assuming that transformation on that scale has to be destructive will usually attract an individual into a destructive transformation.
そういうものが、そういう変革というものが、破壊的な形で起きなければいけないと思っているときには、そういう過程をしていると、だんだんそっちの方に流れていきます。
But approaching it with the attitude that that kind of transformation is simply destructurizing can allow it to be a positive change.
そういう変革が今までできたものが、分解して新しいものができるというような肯定的な見方をすることができます。そうすると肯定的な方に働いていきます。
Just because there is an indication of vast changes taking place in your society does not in and of itself indicate how the individuals must experience that change.
大きな変化があるとしても、大きな変化があるとしても、その個人がそれをどういうふうに体験するかということはまた違うことです。
Remember that whatever is your strongest vibration is the reality you experience.
思い出してください。自分の持っているバイブレーション、波動があなたの、体験するものなんです。
A vibration of uncertainty, doubt and fear will usually attract a negative reality to the individual.
不安とか、それから疑い、そういうものを自分で持っているとき、そういう波動というのは恐れを呼びます。
But a vibration of service, love, light, joy, and ecstasy will usually attract an individual to the positive side of the transformation.
愛とか、それから奉仕、それから喜び、そういうものを持っていると、その人をそういう変革の時にも肯定的な方に運んでくれます。
Now there may be isolated areas upon your planet that will experience the transformation in negative ways, both emotionally and physically.
地球上でどこかの孤立した部分では、ある一部ではそういう変革を非常に否定的に、感情的にもそれから他の意味でも否定的に体験するかもしれません。
There might be isolated pockets that still experience the transformation in the form you would call catastrophe.
皆さんがカタストロフィー、災害という形でそういう一部が未だに否定的に通り過ぎなければいけないかもしれません。
However, even within those areas, an individual whose vibration is of a positive nature will not be negatively affected in any way.
そういう部分の中でさえ、そういう一部の地域の中でさえ、個人個人が自分が肯定的なものを見ていれば、そういう否定的な影響のされ方はしないんです。
Therefore, it is our suggestion and our preference to look at this vast change coming up in a positive way, to ensure positive results.
ですから、そういう大きな変革が今来ているとき、それを私たちがサジェッションしたいことは肯定的に見てほしいということです。
Now, much of what will be happening, especially between your 1990 and 1994, is as follows as we perceive your energy now.
私たちが皆さんの今エネルギーを感じながら見ているところでは、90年から94年、1990年から94年の間に起きることはこんなことです。
Vast new recognitions will have ignited throughout the consciousness of your planet regarding social unity.
皆さんの意識が、そして非常に大きな意識の部分が、社会的な統一性、そういうものに気がつき始めます。
And vast new recognitions regarding expressing individuality.
自分の個性というものを非常に外に表明する、そういう新しい認識があります。
And vast new recognitions regarding the existence of our extraterrestrial societies.
それと同時に地球外惑星の、そういう存在、そういうものに対しての新しい認識が出てきます。
You see, many of your governments have known for many years of our existence, but have suppressed the information.
皆さんの 地球上の政府のたくさんの政府が我々の存在に気がついています。そしていろいろな情報を持っています。
Between what you call your 1990 and 1994, much of that information will be realized by the public.
そして90年から94年のそのぐらいの間にそういう政府が持っているいろんな情報が今度は公共の場に出されます。そして公共の場で認識されます。
This will ignite vast changes in how you perceive the universe as a society.
それによってこの社会として宇宙をだいぶ変えていきます。
But we do not say this to focus you upon us. We say this to focus you upon yourselves.
でもこういうことを言って我々の方に焦点を合わせてほしいんではないんです。自分自身に焦点を合わせてほしいんです。
Simply that many individuals will finally realize that they are now needed to take full responsibility for their lives rather than giving it away for someone else to run.
今たくさんの人たちがこういうことを要求されています。自分で自分の人生に責任を持つということです。よその人たちに自分の人生を走らせる、任せるんではなくて、自分で自分の行動に責任を取るということを今要求されています。
This does not have to translate into what you would call anarchy.
だからといって、みんなを言うことを聞かせなければいけないということではないんですね。
But the idea is that from this point forward, the energy of your society can make changes in the following way.
わがままになるということではないんですけど、次のような形で変革を起こしていくことができます。
What you have referred to as the governments of your planet who have ruled you in the past can now learn to serve you.
今まで自分たちが支配されてきたと思うような政府が今度は皆さんに奉仕をすることができます。
The more lines of communication that are open to them to allow them to understand that it is not a matter of losing power but gaining self-empowerment will make the transition much easier.
こういういろいろなことが起きているとき、自分の力を失うのではなくて、自分に力を取り戻すことによって、自分の中に力を取り戻すことによって変革が簡単に起きることができます。
Remember that when you talk about social and economic and political change, you are those institutions.
政治、経済、そして社会的な変化ということを話すとき、自分もその一部だということを忘れないでください。
Taking responsibility means acting as the full individual that you are, and in being of service, creating the unity of society that you desire.
自分の責任を持つということは自分の行動に責任を持つ。そして自分の社会に対して何か行動を起こすということです。それに奉仕できるように。
From your year 1990 to your year 2011, there will be much restructuring of your society.
皆さんの時間で1990年から2011年まで社会的な再構成が行われます。
Your entire planet.
地球全体の話です。
And much blending going on between all the cultures on your planet.
そしてたくさんの地球上の文化が混ざり合ってきます。
At first there may seem from some individuals to be more animosity, violence, violent intentions.
いろいろな場所でたくさんの暴力的な行為が起きるかもしれません。
But this will eventually balance out as unconditional love smooths the way.
でもそういうものも最後にはバランスが取れます。皆さんの無条件の愛がだんだんそれをスムーズにしていきます。
There will be especially another very strong social change in approximately your year 1997 as well.
そして1997年にもう一つ大きな変化があります。
And by your year of 2013, your society will have finally laid the foundations for unified peace.
2013?
2013.
2013. Thank you. 2013年までこの地球上が一つとなったそういう世の中になります。
However, all of these are sensings that we perceive to exist in your energy now.
今言ったことはでもすべて今皆さんのエネルギーを感じて言えることです。
So let us say a few words about the idea of prediction.
ですから予言ということについてここでいくつか話をしたいと思います。
From our point of view, there really is no such thing as a prediction of the future.
我々の目からすると未来に対しての予言ということは本当はありえません。
There are sensings made in various ways of the energy that exists at the time the sensing is made.
その今みたいにそのエネルギーを感じているとき、 この感じをつかむことはあります。
No one senses the future. You sense the present, which leads you to a probable future.
誰も未来を感知することはできないんです。現在のエネルギーを感じて未来の可能性を感知することはできます。
Your sensing of the present energy can lead you to conclude that unless the energy changes, this particular future is the most likely one to manifest.
ですから自分で何かそういうものを感知するとき、もしこのままエネルギーの状態が変わらなければ、こういうことが実際に起きてしまうだろうということは言えます。
Simply because it has the greatest deal of momentum or energy behind it, and therefore is unlikely to change direction.
そういうエネルギーに慣性があります。その慣性のままずっと行くと、こんな方向に行くだろう。それは感知することができます。
However, this does not mean it cannot be changed, and it also does not mean that even if the general occurrence happens, that it must be experienced in any particular way.
だからといって変えられないということではありません。そしてそれと同時にそういうことが起きたとしても、それを同じようにある一定の方法で自分が体験しなければいけないということは全くありません。
If enough individuals become aware of exactly where the energy will lead them to what kind of a future, then they can decide to change that energy.
たくさんの人たちがこのままのエネルギーでいけばこういうふうになってしまうということを感じることができたら、変えることを、そのエネルギーを変えることができます。
Therefore, many so-called predictions actually render themselves obsolete by simply becoming known to the public.
ですから予言というものは公共的になったとき、みんなにそういうことを知らしめたとき、みんなが変えることができますから、それ自体予言の意味がなくなることがよくあります。
Therefore, remember that all predictions, no matter how they are made, are simply readings of the energy that exists now.
よく理解してください。予言というのはすべて今現在のエネルギーを読んでいるんです。
Therefore, when we speak of these changes in your upcoming years, we are talking about what we sense to be the most likely reality that seems unlikely to change in general concepts.
ですから今お話したようなことは、私たちが現在皆さんの中に感じるエネルギーで、一般的に一番変化しにくいであろうというふうに感じたエネルギーをお話しただけです。
But how each and every individual experiences those changes will have to do with the vibration they choose to be, positive or negative.
ここにいる皆さんがそれを変えたいとき、自分のエネルギーを自分で選択してください。肯定的にするのか、否定的にするのか。
To put it very simply, if an individual chooses to wake up now, then they do not have to shake themselves awake.
こういうふうに言うことができます。もしここにいるすべての人が今自分で目を覚まそうということを決めれば、後で外から、肩をゆすられて目を覚まさせられる必要はないんです。
And allow me to remind each and every one of you that you chose to be born at this time because you knew it would be a very exciting time of transformation.
今ここに生まれてきている人たち、ちょうど変革の時代で非常にワクワクしたところ、興奮するところに生まれてきています。
Therefore, make the best of it and be of service by being the full individual you can be.
せっかくこんな楽しい時に生まれてきてるんですから、自分がなれるだけの自分、自分を 100% 生かしきって、そして楽しんでください。
By doing in your life what excites you the most.
自分が一番興奮することをやることによってそれができます。
Does this answer the question sufficiently?
どうでしょう？十分な答えになってるでしょうか？ Yes, thank you very much.
We thank you very much for your sharing and your service.
あなたのその分かち合い、そしてあなたの奉仕に、もう一度感謝したいと思います。どうもありがとう。
And now, let us begin the second phase of the idea of relationships.
それでは人間関係の第2段階について話します。
The relationship of you to yourself, first of all.
一番最初に自分に対してのあなたの関係です。
Because when you talk about creative relationships with other people, if the one you have with yourself is not creative, it is unlikely anyone else is going to experience it.
創造的な人間関係なんていうことを話しても、まず自分自身に対して創造的でなければ、誰と創造的になれるでしょう。
Are you all ready to be very bold?
皆さんは自分で大胆にいろんなことをやっていきたいですか？準備はできてますか？
One individual is ready to be bold.
一人ですね。
Oh, thank you very much.
どうもありがとう。
Then we shall have a lot of fun.
それでは今日は楽しめそうです。
All of you now, relax.
それでは
Become comfortable.
リラックスして、居心地のいい姿勢になってください。
Close your eyes if you wish.
目を閉じたければ閉じてください。
And take 3 deep breaths.
そして3つ深呼吸をしてください。
As you breathe in an easy manner, do the following thing.
リラックスしながら呼吸をして次のことをやってください。
Imagine your body relaxing.
自分の体がリラックスしているところを想像してください。
Imagine a warm, golden red energy penetrating every cell of your body.
あったかくて赤くて、そして、そういう光が、あったかくて赤くて、そして金色の光が自分の体をずっと通り抜けているのを見てください。
Feel every muscle beginning to let go and soften.
一つ一つの筋肉が、いろんなしがみついているものを解放して柔らかくなってくるのを想像してください。
You may begin at your feet and allow the energy to work its way slowly up your legs.
足から始めてだんだんゆっくりと自分の足をそのリラックスした感じが上ってきます。
Just speak soothingly to all of the muscles in your body.
優しく自分の体の中の筋肉の一つ一つにお話をしてあげてください。
Allow the energy to move up your thighs and through your abdomen.
自分の太ももからお腹の部分までそういう感じが上ってくるのを許してあげてください。
Feel the energy moving up the musculature of your upper body and coursing down your arms to your very fingertips.
そういうエネルギーが今胸を上ってきて、そして腕から指先まで降りて行きます。
Let your shoulders relax.
肩もリラックスさせてあげてください。
Feel all the internal organs being bathed with warmth, relaxing warmth.
自分のお腹の中の内臓、いろいろな内臓があったかくリラックスしていくのを感じてください。
Feel your heart pumping warm blood through all portions of your body.
自分のハートが、自分の心臓がリラックスしながら優しく赤い血を体中に流しているのを見てください。
Feel your lungs continuing to breathe in a very easy, relaxed manner in and out very slowly.
自分の肺がリラックスした感じで呼吸を続けるのを感じてください。吐いて吸って、そして吐いて。
Feel the energy moving up your throat, relaxing your vocal cords and all the muscles in your neck and the bones.
エネルギーが喉を上ってきます。声帯をリラックスさせて、そしてそこにある筋肉、骨もリラックスさせて上がっていきます。
Feel your jaw muscle relax, allow your tongue to relax.
顎の筋肉がリラックスしてきます。下の筋肉がリラックスしてきます。それを感じてください。
Feel the warmth.
その温かさを感じてください。感じてください。
Feel the warmth in your sinuses and behind your eyes and penetrating your eyes.
鼻、そして鼻の後ろのある空洞、目の後ろ、そういうものがリラックスしていくのを感じていきます。
And all the way up and around your scalp to the top of your head.
自分の頭蓋骨、それを通ってさらに頭のてっぺんまでリラックスします。
And see the radiant golden red light radiating from you in your aura all around.
そして赤く黄金に輝いた光が自分のオーラが体中から輝き出しているのを感じてください。
And now, beginning in your heart area, begin to imagine a bright emerald green shining light.
そしたら今度は自分のハートから心臓からエメラルドのようなエメラルドグリーンの緑色の光が輝き出すのを見てください。
And feel all of the idea of the green light expanding throughout every cell in your body.
その緑色の光が自分の体の中の細胞の一つ一つを通って、そして広がっていくのを感じてください。
And now feel that all of your mentality, all of your thoughts are relaxing and blending with your body relaxation.
自分の意識が自分の体とリラックスしながら一つに混ざり合っていくのを感じてください。
Feel the vibrant richness of your connection with nature.
自然と一つにつながっていて優しく振動している、そんな自分を感じてください。
Feel your sensitivity and your intuition.
自分の感受性、そして自分の直感を感じてみてください。
And feel all of your worries and all of your cares melting away in the green light.
自分の心配だとか不安がその緑の光に溶けて消えていくのを見てください。
And now, from within the area of your third eye, between your two eyes, see a bright blue light.
それでは今度は内側から自分の第三の目のところ、おでこのところに青い光を見てください。
And feel your spirit rejoicing at the relaxation of your body and your mind.
体と意識がリラックスするにつれて非常な喜びが出てくるのを感じてください。
And feel the cooling, cleansing air that washes through your entire body.
静かな、そして涼しい空気が体中を冷ましてくるのを感じてください。
Feel yourself breathing as spirit.
自分自身が魂として呼吸しているのを感じてください。
And now know beyond a shadow of a doubt that no matter what your consciousness tells you, your spirit, your mind, and your body are one.
自分の意識がどんなことを言おうとも、自分の魂、そして意識、そして肉体は一つだということを感じてください。
And you are now in the appropriate state to pray and be heard.
今ちょうどお祈りをして、そしてその祈りが向こうに届くのにちょうどいい状態にいます。
And you are in the appropriate state to receive all the unconditional love you deserve.
それと同時にあなたが受け取る価値のある無限の愛、それを今受け取れる状態にあります。
Now feel a bright white light of ecstasy shining within you.
恍惚感に満ちた白い光があなたの中で光っているのを見てください。
Feel a radiant connection to all that is.
無限の絶対的な完全のその光を自分を感じてください。
You are bathed in the light of unconditional love.
今あなたは無限の愛の海の中にいます。
Take 3 deep breaths and enjoy it.
3つ大きな呼吸をしてそれを楽しんでください。